Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, and the wonderful lunch. I loved seeing a lunch that was full of Virta-friendly options. So if you stop by our table, you're going to know that we are a diabetes reversal company. Our focus is on helping you and your employees reverse diabetes, get off insulin, or even stop a type 2 diabetes diagnosis with people who are, pre-diabetic. So I'm going to talk more about what that looks like. Virta. I want to start here because some of you who stop by our table are members or have talked to people who are members, and every time I hear someone tell a story, a success story on Virta, I get teared up because we are changing lives, we are helping people live longer, live better. And this is from a local government member. Thankful to you for offering this program to employees and their families. The Virta plan has helped me get my glucose down to a fasting average of 118, and I've also lost 20 pounds. Now, one thing you're going to hear from me today is it's not only about reversing the diabetes. That's our main focus, but we know that a lot of people who are suffering are experiencing hypertension, MSK pain, so many other ailments, and that's something that we can help you with along with a lot of the other vendors in the room. So we can work together, get together to make your folks healthier. If you're sitting there thinking this program might be for me, or I have people that I'm working with that need to learn more, take out your phone, scan the QR code from the flyers that me and Lisa gave you earlier. This is where it's going to take you. It's a custom local government website. Learn more, check your eligibility, or please pass it along to the people that you're working with so they can either experience it or pass it along to a loved one who's eligible. So before I get into really how Virta does it, this is what we've done since the start of our partnership with local government. We've served over 680 members. They've lost almost 10,000 pounds. And we may have hit the 10,000 mark because I did do this presentation a few weeks ago. On average, we're able to decrease A1C by 1%. 45% of these members have eliminated medications that they're on. 41% have eliminated insulin completely. And we're going to have a local member give their testimonial earlier, and he was able to eliminate insulin completely within 4 months of starting Virta. So we're not talking about results are being seen in 2, 3, 4 years. When they can make changes that we're encouraging them to make, results are seen immediately. And what we know is, again, our focus is on the type 2 diabetes and prediabetes reversal, but a lot of individuals are experiencing other chronic metabolic disease factors. 98% of people with type 2 diabetes are experiencing, like I said, something else on this page. Depression, sleep apnea, joint pain. And we are finding out more and more, if we can encourage people to make nutritional and lifestyle changes, we're not just reversing diabetes, but we're able to reverse a lot of these other things that people are experiencing. And we're doing more and more research and starting a clinical study to show that. So even though our focus is diabetes, we're helping people do a lot more. I often said when people were stopping by the table, talked about lifestyle changes. And sometimes you can just see in their face, like, oh, because lifestyle change is not easy. Whether you're trying to give up coffee, run your first 5K, maybe read 12 books in a year, it's not easy to change what you're doing or to change what your family's doing. But this is what we help people do when they enroll in Virta. And it's not a cookie cutter program. We're going to talk through the 5 principles that we are based on, that we have been built on, but we really focus on the individual unique needs of you as a person. Because what's going to work for Michelle is not necessarily going to work for Jessica, because we all have unique bodies, we have unique biochemistry. So we really focus on that to help you meet the member where they are. So we're going to help provide support for behavioral changes. So there's a care team with a health coach and a provider. So these people are not doing this alone. We're adjusting nutrition based on biomarkers. So we'll talk a little bit more about the starter kit that these members get. They're tracking their glucose, they're tracking their ketones. So we are looking at their biochemistry and helping them make changes that, again, are unique to them. And then we have a health coach because, again, life changes. We could have someone in the program that goes from having 0 children at the start to 2 children a year or 2 down the road. Maybe someone goes from having a house full to becoming empty nesters. We know that life throws curveballs or life changes, and that we have a program in place that's going to help people navigate those changes. Now, this is Tim. Tim was living with cardiometabolic diseases for 12 years. He was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He was started on insulin, and over 12 years, his health really was failing. It got to the point where he lost his mobility and was forced to retire at his role at local government. But then he found Virta.
Hi, I'm Tim. I'm in Alabama, and I was going to talk to you today about my experience with Virta. I'm a type 2 diabetic and was diagnosed in about 1998 after a fairly serious car accident and some subsequent illnesses that just kept popping up, and had never really suspected being diabetic, but I was. And the doctor at that time told me it will be good if you can follow the diabetic diet and get 5 years out of following diet, and then 5 years out of metformin. And then after 10 years, you'll probably be on insulin. After about 12 years, I was on insulin, doing daily shots and then twice a day. And that went along with, it seemed like an endless cycle. Every few months, then my A1C would be checked and it would be increasing. My weight would be increasing, and then my insulin would be increased. My inflammation increased, my ability to walk, to get out and enjoy the outdoors that I like, getting out, doing photography, hiking, and going to the gym, that seemed to be going away. I had to retire from my job on disability because the doctor said you can no longer do this, and I could not. I didn't know what I was going to do because I was on 2 heavy doses of insulin every day. My A1C was not doing well, and then I got an email toward the end of the year from our local government health insurance program announcing the availability of Virta to us. I didn't know anything about it, had never heard anything about it. And talked to my doctor, my general practitioner, about it. His response was, well, if you can do this, there's nothing wrong with this diet. And that's what I began to do. And so after about 3 months, I began to see dramatic results from Virta. After about 4.5 months, I was totally free of insulin. I dropped about 90 pounds. I regained my ability to get out and walk and do the things that I enjoy doing, being outdoors and going to the gym and working out and being active again. I was recently at my general practitioner for my 6-month checkup, and he said, one thing I can say about Virta, he said, they are very thorough. He said, they've tested for almost everything that I'm treating. He said, but I've got a couple more tests. He said, you look great. After those, he said, everything looks good, and I'll see you again in 6 months. Keep up with it. The Virta coaches, the Virta doctors with the plan, they have really helped me, encouraged me, and give me specific targets, working with the carbohydrates, the proteins, the fat. I enjoy eating again. It's good food. And so it's not just a diet to be on. It's a nutritional lifestyle. And it's a lifestyle that works for me. If you feel like you're controlled by diabetes, as I did, I encourage you to look at Virta as a way to take control of it rather than it controlling you. Have a great day.
So again, it's hard not to hear those stories and just feel emotions, because so many of the people, by the time they find Virta, they are, immobile, or they are experiencing things that really are affecting their day-to-day life. And that's why I love the fact that local government has expanded this to those who have prediabetes, so they can take advantage before they get to this type of lifestyle. But you can see, he went through all of this and is now living a wonderful life. And this is a testimonial that Michelle helped us get just a month or two ago. So this is someone who is now currently a Virta member. So how do we do it? The core principles, like I said, it's not easy to make these types of lifestyle changes, but we encourage people to eat real food. Shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Fill your carts with fresh vegetables, lean proteins. And again, the goal is not to count your calories or to limit what you eat. Eat till you're full. By making the changes that Virta encourages, people become full. Fat is your friend. At some point back in the 80s, someone decided that fat is something we should not be consuming and everything became fat-free. And this is something that I've slowly started to learn, is that healthy fats are important to consume. It's what makes you feel full. It's what makes you feel satisfied. It's not the fats that you're gonna get in a bag of Doritos, but the program is gonna help you learn how to choose what you eat and make sure you're making those healthy choices. And then again, a majority of what you eat should be the plants, the moderate proteins. So this is really what is encouraged through the program, but 4 and 5 are my favorite. Get to know your body. Like I said before, this is a unique custom program that is going to look at the member and help them, knowing that they're not the same as the person sitting next to them. And then the health coach and this care team is going to help adjust the plan for long-term success. So again, our goal is to have members come in, learn how to make these changes, and then eventually graduate. They don't have to be with us forever. We want to give them the tools so they can do it on their own, but we are there for them for the duration that they feel they need us. And who does that? It's the Virta care team, and this is really what makes us unique. Once a member enrolls, they're going to have a Virta health coach and a Virta provider. The health coach and provider they have on day 1 is the health coach and provider they're going to have on day 365. So they really develop a personal relationship. They get to know them. They're not just another person or another name that they see that come across their desk. They have access to this care team 24/7 through our app. So, if 3 o'clock, you're at a conference and there's snacks out and you're not sure what you should consume, you can snap a picture, put it on your app, share it with your health coach, and they can help you. Let's say it's a little later in the day, we do have some amazing new AI tools that will allow AI in the app to help. So let's say 10 o'clock at night, maybe the health coach is not online. The app is meant to help members and be there for them 24/7. And then one really important thing to remember, and Tim said it, the home PCP is not someone that goes away. We stay in contact with the member's PCP. We may be taking over their diabetes portion of their care, but we talk to that PCP. We give them updates on medication reduction. So that PCP is an important part of, let's say, Tim's health journey, and they're going to stay connected with that member, and we're going to talk to them so they know what is going on in terms of the diabetes program. Now I'm going to go through these next 3 slides quite quickly, but I just want you to understand what the member experience looks like if they enroll. So they're going to get a marketing materials like the ones you have. If you need more, come back and see Lisa and I. We can give you the name and the contact information for Marie to get more at your location. The first step is after someone applies, is an intro to the clinical team. So we understand that people need to talk through their health history before they, make this change. Maybe there's some concerns that they have more going on. I talked to an individual a few weeks ago where they had type 2 diabetes, but also Parkinson's, and we're very concerned about making changes and how it could affect other things that they have going on in their life. Before someone is even fully enrolled, they're going to have a chance to talk to our clinical intake team to understand the family or their full medical history. Then they're going to get the medical equipment and supply. So this all is a part of the program. They're going to get a scale, they're going to get a recipe book, they're going to get a glucometer, they're going to get all the testing strips, the lancets, everything they need. And those are refilled for free as a member. And then they have the guided education curriculum. So this is that nutrition education. Some of you sitting there, it might be second nature what fat is, what proteins are, what carbs are. But for most people, they don't know. They're consuming what they see, what's on sale, what the commercials they see. And so this educational piece is really, really important to those who are enrolled in Virta. And so we do a lot through our app to deliver this type of nutritional information in digestible pieces. So 30 seconds, 1-minute videos or articles, podcasts, we all learn differently. And then the clinical care team, because this is such a pivotal piece to success, is that this clinical care team is monitoring changes. They're with the member day to day, helping with any sort of deprescription of medications. They're watching the biomarkers that are being logged to make sure that they're tracking everything that's going on with this member. And then again, communicating with the member's PCP as changes are made. So again, this program has worked wonders for so many local government members. As you can see, 40% of them have completely eliminated insulin, and it's something that we want to make sure that is available for free to any of your employees that are on the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama health plan and their dependents who have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. And here are just a few the testimonials from members that have been a part of it. One said they lost over 60 pounds and the biomarkers have all come down to normal ranges. It's changed my health in a big way. Couldn't have done it without your help. And just thanks for providing a way for me to be healthier. So I think this is just another tool to make sure that your members know about and understand that we can work alongside any of the other vendors here to help people as they're managing their symptoms. So, questions. So for the prediabetes eligibility, they need to have an A1C of 6.5 or higher. If they do not have one when they enroll, we will pay for them to go get blood work done at a Quest or LabCorp location. And so then if the results come back with that marker, then they'd be eligible. Yeah, so right now we are communicating quarterly direct mailers, and I believe it's monthly emails for those who are eligible. So if you have someone who's maybe newly diagnosed, they might not get that information right away, but they will once that changes on the eligibility file.